Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching The Breakfast on Plus TV Africa. It's time to take our global stories that has made it to the front pages of our national dailies. And joining us this morning is KEHINDE NWANDU. He's the executive editor of CKN News. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning and welcome.
It's good to see you again.
Good morning. All right, we begin with the Nigerian Tribune this morning, and it leads with youths defy police warning, stage protests in Lagos, Abuja, Rivers, Ibadan, others. So I'm sure you're abreast with the Take It Back movement. That was a protest that was staged for yesterday. And coincidentally, yesterday was also the National Police Day. But one thing that we've said was most times anytime there's a protest, it always gets hijacked, and even the police will tell you that it will get hijacked instead of giving you the protection that you need. And now, I think the youths are probably waking up and deciding that regardless of whatever is going to happen, we're still going to march into the streets, we're still going to make our voices heard and let you know our plight. So what's your take on this? Youth defy police warning, stage protests in Lagos, Abuja, and Rivers. I know that protests might not be the answer to all of our problems, but as Nyangul said earlier on, it's a statement for you to know that this is what we want. Do you think that protests may just work and the leaders would definitely hear us at some point, or is something that's always dead on arrival?
First and foremost, I need to commend the organizers of the protest yesterday and for their efforts, because we all cannot be silenced. Protest is a fundamental human right. It's a right that has been enshrined in the Constitution, the freedom of association, freedom of speech, and it has been decided even at the Supreme Court that no Nigerian, either individual or group, needs any police permit or permission to protest. So, as a Nigerian, you have a right to protest where you think that your fundamental human rights have been breached for whatever reason. And for that, the caveat is that it must be peaceful. So those that organized or came out yesterday to protest were only living by the tenets of that section of the Nigerian Constitution, the 1999 Constitution, as amended. So I commend them. Then the second part is that those protests didn't just come from nowhere. They had given prior notice that there's going to be protest. And what is needed is for the police to give the necessary protection to the protester. That is what the Constitution says, and that is what the law says. Now, the days of using tear gas to disperse a peaceful protest is gone and should not be seen in a democracy like ours. Trying to do that is trying to suppress the voice of the people. And that this Yoruba adage that if you for whatever reason push a good to the world, there's a possibility that it's going to react. So let them not take it for granted that, oh, Nigeria, we can just suppress. What are they protesting about? They talk about the issue of the declaration of emergency rule in River State. They also talk about the Cybercrime Act 2015, which the Nigerian government and the police especially are now using to be able to suppress freedom of speech, arrest people unnecessarily, get them detained, and like so. If you look at it from that point, you will see that they have a genuine right. And let's just stretch it a bit further. Currently in the United States, a lot of Americans are protesting against the policies of the current President Donald Trump. And you see thousands and thousands of people marching on the street. Have you seen the US government using tear gas to try to disperse them? I think the police should be reminded that this is not the right way to go about it. We are no longer in a military regime where people's rights and intent at the security agencies are tried to suppress. So I condemn in totality what happened yesterday and believe that this should be the last time. The police can protect. If you think that the protest will be hijacked, then protect the protesters and try to stem those that want to hijack the protest for their own selfish interest. That is my personal opinion on this.
Yeah, even though the police has denied that it's the protesters, they said it's miscreants, but we all know what happens in Nigeria. But we'll take it.
Who are the miscreants? Who are the miscreants? They don't know those behind it. They didn't see the Jade. They didn't show who a former presidential candidate and the journalist. So who are the miscreants?
I wonder.
What were they using their intelligence for?
Yeah. Okay, a headline here, it's on almost all the papers, but let's concentrate on the Tribune too. CNG, federal government attracts 491 million investment, unveils plans to expand penetration in 30 states. That's what they're saying on this, and they're hoping that CNG will be everywhere, as it were. But my question is, I don't know if you have felt it, but a lot of people have not really felt the impact of this CNG that the government is talking so much about and saying that they're spending so much money. If you're commuting from state to state or even within the state, it doesn't seem like any bus at all is using CNG, and if they're using, whether life is better for the people.
Well, I'm not a convert of CNG. At the beginning, when people try to convince me to convert my vehicle to CNG, and I say no. Whatever how much fuel it's going to be. Just like Christian faith, God will do. I'll be able to buy fuel. I'm not going to buy at the John Boss. Yes, but government policies. That is what the way they go about. They bring all sorts of policies, not well thought out, make a lot of news about it, and that will be the end of it. I don't know, there is a particular, is a committee or whatever that was created, CNG committee or whatever they call it, or commission, whatever they call it, that at social time, social number of vehicles in Nigeria were converted to CNG. I don't know how many have been because I've not been seeing any. There are instances where you see some of this CNG conversion causing a lot of havoc, exploding, and some people die. But whether there have been some, yes, I've seen some, of course. There's public transportation that is always flying between Rume, and that has it to Beggar every morning. It's a long bus. I think it's owned by the state government. Yeah. That is really working. I've seen them picking people and dropping people at Beggar most of the time. If you even see it written on the body, CNG powered buses. But then I've also seen a lot of big trucks like that of Dangote cement using CNG. But in the last case that the noise was made, I've not seen much of that. And you remember what the whole essence was because of the rise in petroleum prices. That was why the government was saying, we're going to go CNG at first. But as I said, government policies are always like that. Money will be voted. I'm sure some people have made a kill, making millions and billions of naira from that policy. But it's just not like it began, it has fizzled out. So I don't know where the policy is taking on, and we're not being given any necessary figures as to how many Nigerian vehicles have been converted to CNG. But I know that without any doubt, over 95% or close to even 98% of vehicles on Nigerian roads still run on fuel, petroleum, and diesel, and that's the fact.
All right, let's look at the Punch. The Punch leads with local government autonomy. Governors block council chairman from opening CBN accounts. The writer here says governors tighten grip as central bank rolls out stringent account opening guidelines. So even as of today, it is said that it's only Delta State that has, brought all of their account information. But other states are still holding back because one of the Southeast states, the governors had even threatened the local government chairman not to, put out any account that would bring the money straight to them. What is the point of, fighting for local government autonomy and the Supreme Court even giving a verdict if it would not be taken? At this point, who takes supremacy over who? Why is the local government autonomy not a thing right now?
Yes, I've said it. I said the problem of Nigeria is not having any laws or enough laws to be able to operate. We have more than enough laws to operate. The problem with Nigeria is always that of implementation. And it's not curious that almost over a year after that Supreme Court verdict, we still find that local governments have not opened, don't have account with central bank. Central bank has not been able to start paying money into this account as based on the judgment of the Supreme Court. At a point, the local government chairman was able to say that central bank have not given them any form. They've not seen any form. So I take it from the point of CBN. We are making student law. What are the student laws? And why is it that for over a year, we still can make it possible for this local government to open up account with the local with the central bank? What does it take to open an account? All you just need is necessary verification. Who are the signatories to the account? Probably the chairman, the secretary, or the supervisory councillor for finance or whatever. And that's it. I get it done. Once that is verified, then you go ahead and then open up after they have BVN already that can be used to verify their person. And this, but we have not made sure that this effort will be frustrated by the governors. You know, right from time they were against the autonomy of this of the local government. But I think it is within the right, based on the constitution and the verdict of the Supreme Court, that these local governments should have some level of autonomy as it were. The federal government have the right. The way you have been seizing the fund of River State, just because you say it was not sent to the House of Assembly, to the rest members of House of Assembly, you see the money meant for River State. If there's any state governor or any state, for that matter, that has been trying to frustrate this, then you can be able to take decisive action through the AGF and also the Accountant General of the Federation. Yes, I know that federal government have no right to seize the money of any state, but if for whatever reason they are frustrating, because it's the constitutional thing, and the values have been given to that. So I see no reason why this local government still. Autonomy is not just having autonomy for the fun of it. Autonomy is being financially autonomous enough so that they can help one to be able to also operate at the local government level. That is the nearest government to the people. You come to realize that at the end of it, what the governors have always been doing in the past is that the money sent to the joint account of the state and local government, the governors hijack that money and on a monthly basis just send just about 5 million or 3 million to the local government chairman to pay salaries of primary school teachers and the staff of it, and that's it. The other part of the money, they just squander it and embezzle it. And when you continue having issues at local government, they say, oh, we have local government chairman. Are they not local government chairman? We are state government. But the necessary fund I need to approve it. So I think that the federal government has to have a written. The AGF has said it time and time again that the local government should have the autonomy based on the verdict of the Supreme Court. But are they walking the talk? Until the federal government come out hard on most of these state governments and state governors, you can be rest assured that not we have.
Okay, an interesting issue where we find trade war here and there. Here in Nigeria, we find our own small trade war. Analysts split over Sterling. I'm on Business NG. Business NG. Analysts split over Sterling Bank's no charge policy. A few days ago, in fact, on April Fool's Day, that's what happened. Sterling Bank said that there will be no charges on electronic transfers on their app and all that, and people felt that it was not true. And after that, people started confirming that it is true. So this kind of a thing is possible in the banking sector in Nigeria, just like in the telecommunications when others said some things were not possible, and then Glo came out and said, okay, per minute or per second billing is possible, and it started happening. Everybody follows suit. Do you think this is a good sign to show that or maybe other banks are going to follow suit, or you think that they're just bragging for some time and they will shut them down or something?
If you know the number of alerts I receive from my phone every day on the deduction from banks, I've even lost touch. I don't even know where the deductions are. I've lost touch, I've lost faith. Whenever I just see a deduction, I just maintenance this, alert this. Now the day I received almost 500 and something naira alert on my phone from a particular bank. And I was asking, when did this happen? Before you know it, got to about 800 in about 2 days. And you continue this. The deduction from the state, that you can't even, you won't even get. And let me shock you. I was at an event put up by one of the graph agencies some weeks back, where one of the top editors of the graph agency told us, as senior editors, that there was a particular bank that deducted about 7 naira from all its customers. And at the end of it all, that bank within a day made over 800 something million. Is it 800 or 8 billion? I can't remember how much. Very, very huge amount. And when they got to know of it, they called the chief executive of that bank and showed them the evidence that, why did you do this discussion? Do you know what they said? They said it was a mistake.
Did they reverse it? That
it was a mistake. Yes, they now, so they now, I don't know whether it had been reversed. I think they asked them to buy, I don't know whether it had been reversed. Either they add them to warehouse the money in the graph agency's account, pending, but that was what the chief executives of the bank told them. It was a mistake. Can you imagine a mistake of collecting 7 naira from each customer of that particular bank? So that is what the banks are doing. And my problem is that the CBN, which is a regulatory agency on this bank, is not doing their job. I don't know what they are doing. They're only interested in saving the forest. And you see this bank on a yearly basis declaring profits, huge profits, where the economy is so terrible, they are declaring. So it's very annoying. So Sterling Bank, I don't bank with Sterling Bank. But if some of those that said that they bank with them said they are no longer, that's a good one. If it's verified, I may decide to just move my remaining small 10,000 naira to that bank. Maybe that will keep safe. There was a particular bank also where I just opened an account and just draw small money in the account. And can you believe it that within a space of 7 months, that money was liquidated without me even drawing a single cover from that account. From one charges, I purposely put it and let me see what's going to happen. That money was, I did not withdraw a single. So I blame all this blame on Central Bank. If we have a policy regulatory agency that is doing its job, most of these banks will not go away with this black money that they're doing. And we don't have a way, because you, as a customer of the bank, when you see 3 naira, 5 naira, 7 naira, you just look at it, it's nothing. Do you understand? But aggregate that 5 naira among over 2-3 million customers of that bank. That is what you have to know that. Yeah. And we didn't have to grab a meeting agency meeting us. We are told that most of the CEOs of the banks now own private jets. I'm talking about CEOs, not even chairmen, CEOs of the banks fly private jet, they own private jet. Whose money are they using? It's quite unfortunate.
I think it's high time we started calling out some people who are doing wrong and then congratulating people who are doing right. You call their names and say these people are doing well and these other ones are doing wrongly. I remember a time I had to send a recharge card of 500 naira to somebody, and then I saw 150 naira taken out. They called it one federal government tax something.
It's ridiculous.
So if federal government can do that to me, small me, that means what will the central bank do? They are the same federal government.
Every Sunday, there's a charge that's been taken out of my account. I think it's called stamp duty. There's account maintenance, there's card maintenance, there's SMS.
There's everything maintenance.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Every Sunday, that money is always out of my account. And I'm wondering, like other countries, in the UK, for instance, you don't get one single charge. Not one.
I mean, you're using my money to trade.
Exactly. So you're making money off it. Then why are you still charging me for bringing? I think maybe it's high time we start going into our backyards and digging the ground and putting our monies there, because that was the bank that worked for us in the past. But today, it seems like these same banks want to take all of my money.
How would happen if doing? That's what happened during the Second Republic. In paying myself, I will be too long to know that. That was my brother will know that. But it's remember him, that governor, that was piling all the money in this thing under his pillow.
Yeah.
When he was arrested, I think 1983 or so, all the money was kind of, he said because he didn't trust the bank, that's why he was piling the money under the bed.
My money is very plenty.
The essence of the policies of government, which is all this cashless and rest of that, is to attract people to save. We are trying to want to attract people to come and save their money. Then with all this deduction, you are trying to want people to just forget the idea of savings. And then people will continue to hear that, oh, we have so much money in circulation, we have so much in it's causing inflation and rest of it. When the people are not getting the confidence to be able to put their money in the bank and make money, then there are also some people that will make people touch. That is the one of stealing of their money. That this sister, you saw the story of one man that said he got over 500 million of his money in a particular bank. And they have been trying, he has gone to court to try, and the bank is saying, no, it was the connivance, it was our former staff and the rest of them. And that money, I'm sure you're aware of that story. And that somebody's fight over half a billion is gone. And the banks are just ignoring themselves. That is how our financial institution is, how it is now, presently.
It's ridiculous. I think the central bank definitely needs to do something about it, because we don't even have enough, and the little that we have, you're taking it away. I don't know. Anyways, this is how much we can take on of the press this morning. Chris, I want to say thank you for coming. It's always a pleasure having you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Maybe that is where the next campaign should start from. They that are protesting. Maybe we will just start it from sector to sector.
Exactly.
Maybe just start sector to sector. We take the bank today, tomorrow we take the other thing. So that is what we have. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day ahead.
You too, sir. Otherwise, we're speaking with Chris KEHINDE NWANDU. He's the executive editor of CKN News, and we've just been taking the stories that popped on our national dailies this morning. We'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll be discussing our first hot topic, which talks about Nigeria's democratic dilemma and the fact that youths are on the streets and opposition in shambles. Please stay with us.